do I owe the honor? Fretting about us, guys. Unless that is... So, will it be? It'd last you a good while. And?
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. Lestock. The whole realm's in chaos. But as the old saying goes... Go on, then. You'll not find a better price than that. I reckon I can find a buyer. You got out else? I reckon I can find a buyer. I'll be thankful you got that much. You got out else? I'll be thankful you got that much. I reckon I can find a buyer. You got out else? I'll be thankful you got that much. Come again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered either way.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
What are you making them skies then?
Your omen is what?
Clive! I don't mean to be gloomy. They need all the help they can get. Here you go. Always something in there.
Otto, how fares the realm?
The realm? Oh, she's just fine. As long as you look past the fat storms out mother crystals and her skies are a roiling cesspit.
And Gav?
He's with your uncle in the Free Cities, helping Mid with her project. Sent an owl their way the moment the winds turned foul. Still waiting on a reply, though.
Do you have any good news?
Well, that depends on your definition of good.
All right, fine. What do you suggest we do?
Oh, no, I'm just a messenger. I leave the scheming to those more suited to the task. Could be that Lady Vivian and Old Tomes have their own thoughts on the current state of things. Could be that they don't.
I suppose not.
How is it that every one of your little excursions presages some inexplicable catastrophe? Not that you are to blame for the Dominion's fate. No one could have predicted the actions of the Crown Prince.
I'm sorry I couldn't save your home.
My countrymen are stronger than you think. A few toppled clock towers won't break their spirits. They'll be back on their feet in no time.
I hope so.
Look at us. Bluer than a pair of bog crabs. Tempting though it may be, sulking will not help us find a solution to this mess.
You believe there's one to be found?
I don't know. But I am certain we're more likely to find it if we first examine the facts.
Beneath these darkened skies, fear and confusion reign over Valisthea. Oh, the lands around the fallen Mother Crystals had already begun to wilt for want of ether. But not like this. Crystals that filled wells and fueled furnaces, now nothing but pretty shards of rock. And those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay. It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of days is upon us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope for. While most of the world thirsts for ether, the remainder drowns in it, spawning Akashic in droves. And amidst the hordes of mindless beasts, with magics as like to fail as function, even the strongest nation would falter. Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom teeter on the brink of collapse, while the tragedy in Twinside has all but paralyzed the Holy Empire. Dhalmekia fares little better. Rumor has it the ministers fled the capital after the fall of Drake's Fang, leaving their beloved republic to crumble. Waloed, meanwhile, moves in earnest. The Einherjar has been sighted off-storm. The world, in short, is in chaos. It would seem our civilization was nothing but a castle of sand, to be washed away at the whim of the waves.
A castle of sand.
Not my best flourish, but it seemed fitting. The reports I've received are considerably more blunt in their appraisal. Without the protection of their nations, it will fall to the people to defend themselves against those who would take what is theirs.
Which is only ever going to end one way.
Defending a farmhouse against a band of chocobo thieves is one thing, but pitchforks and palisades will do little to stall an army's advance. Should the King of Waloed deign to invade, there would be none to stop him.
None but us.
me guess. You're here about the skies.
Is there anything you don't know, Lawsman?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has disturbed the heavens, that, I believe, is a question the Fallen might be better placed to answer than I. And on the 6th day did the gods tear the sun from the firmament, visiting darkness upon their prideful sons and daughters. But I dare say you remember your childhood lessons on the sins of Zemeckis only too well.
You think they're connected? That Ultima was one of the gods responsible?
Well, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with the divine.
There is nothing divine about him.
But he wouldn't be the first god of whom that could be said, now would he? Yet for all the fairy tales that tell of the sins, there is almost nothing in the way of actual historical accounts. Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler, I may have been able to tell you more, but alas, I fear all remaining copies have been lost to time. You will forgive me, I hope?
Certainly not. Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom. And we will always be grateful for it. Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others had to say.
Clive, we have a problem.
Only one. That would be a first.
It would. Actually, there are 3. We had as many owls arrive while you were at the shelves. Martha's got a Akashic out her gates, and talk of monsters roaming the hills outside of Northreach has put the wind up Isabel and her lot.
And don't forget Dalimil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
When it rains...
It fucking pours. The curse breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they'd get here in time to make any real difference. Which means there's only 2 people who can.
Jill and I.
Let them know we're on our way.
What's happened? The guards at the gate are in a right, old man.
Pardon me, but would you happen... That well-notched steel and impressive physique. I have need of a sword for hire, and yours looks to be a weapon well worth the coin. Might you be convinced to offer me the use of those formidable arms?
How exactly do you intend to use them?
Well, being something of a scholar of Zemeckis history, I wish to investigate the ruins near the city, and I require a rugged companion, lest I find myself waylaid by ne'er-do-wells. Should you accept, you will not only earn yourself material wealth, but partake of the true treasure that awaits us there. Well, were you ever party to a finer proposition?
My arms are yours.
Wonderful!
But where are we going?
Along the old Zemeckis Road. Quickly! There is no...
Wait. Well, good luck with your ne'er-do-wells. better make sure he doesn't get himself killed.
Who needs a porter when there's no room?
Do you have any fresh water?
Now I just need to see about getting the word out. I want to know right away.
Bad news.
Good, actually. Something worth celebrating for a change. Only trouble is, the serving girl's still new to the job, so I can't leave her while I go and invite those I'd like to celebrate with.
What exactly are you celebrating? Don't mind me asking.
I've come by a particularly fine bottle. Gotan Rouge is the only good thing to have ever come out.
So I've heard.
Oh. So, a gentleman who might... Would you pass the good news to a few friends of mine?
Sounds simple enough.
So you won't need to go. Is Aldrich the port free of the fight? Stop by again when...
I'll be right back. I've been asked to find Aldrich.
That's me right enough.
The innkeeper sent me.
If he's just got hold of it now.
From the Empire to Boklad.
Such is the porter's luck. It's Oriflamme one. The farther you're willing to go, the fat... I'd say I've done enough for it.
I see you've been of some assistance to Eloise. Perhaps you can extend me the same kindness?
Perhaps. What would I be doing?
Finding someone. You see, I've been having trouble with thieves, and despite the many pains I've taken, I can't stop them from rummaging through my packs. I was griping about my lot to a friend of mine a few days back, and he offered to track the culprits down. Now, Joseph's a sellsword, and a good one at that. But he's been gone days.
Any idea where his search for the thieves might have taken him?
The old Zemeckis Road, perhaps? He doubted they would be fool enough to linger here in Boklad. Joseph's lived a hard life. Made him grey long before his time.
I can't imagine there are too many grey-haired sellswords around.
What's happened? Please. Please, fruit.
Are you Milan?
That's me.
The innkeeper's just had a special delivery. He thought you might like to join him for a cup of wine after you pack up for the day.
He knows me only too well.
Wine and ham to spare.
Comes with being the place everyone has to pass through. We get meat from San Brec, or rather we did. Still, there's no point dwelling on it.
You'll buy something, won't you? Please.
You've raised the price.
I'm looking for Bolek. I was told he'd be guarding the gate.
Well, you found him. You're not here to enlist, I take it?
The innkeeper sent me. He's just taken delivery of a rare vintage, a Gotan 66. He thought you might like a cup.
I've never said no to a goat hand. I'm not about to start now.
You must be a busy man.
No one's making for the refugee camps anymore. Not after what happened in the Dominion. Meaning, they linger here instead. I spend more of my days moving beggars along than I do manning these gates. What gets to me are the gangs that prey on the poor sods. As if they haven't suffered enough. Some days you can't help but wonder what the world's coming to. You know what? That wine's sounding better by the moment.
Well done. I wonder if the innkeeper might spare a cup of that wine.
Showed you my pass. What more do you want from me?
Let us through, damn you! Open the gates!
I haven't sold anything in days.
These pears are...
Please. A piece of fruit. A crust of bread. Anything.
Do you have any fresh water?
I spoke to your... That's fantastic news. It's been a while since we all sat there, and the way I see it...
How so?
Well, I wouldn't be serving anything but slops without Aldrich to go and fetch the good stuff for me. And then there's Milan, who always sends customers my way. And Bolek, an even-handed keeper of the peace, if ever there was one. Those three are the backbone of Boklad, and without the market, I wouldn't have a single customer.
And more besides.
Everyone needs a shoulder to lean on. Right. I'd better prepare for my guest's arrival.
I hear you had me carrying a bottle of Gotan 66. If I'd have known, I would have sold the thing and lived like a lord. I'll settle for a cup, though, if you're in a sharing mood.
A Gotan 60 Just as well I had something special of my own, Seth.
A bottle between the four of us might not be enough to drown our sorrows, but it can't hurt.
Here they are, the three pillars of Boklad. The woes of the world may be monstrous in many.
Never a truer word spoken.
Who needs a porter when there's no...
What I wouldn't give for a hot...
Looks like this is the end of the road for us.
When are they gonna let us through?
What do you want? I've no coin on me.
Just information. Has a sellsword passed through here? Grey hair.
Now you mention it. There was a young man with salt in his mane sneaking around out there a while back.
Which way did he go?
How am I supposed to know? Buggered off down the road, I expect. Now why don't you do the same and leave me be?
Why am I not surprised?
You'll hand over your coin when you know what's good for
Are you hurt?
Happily not, good sir. Thanks to your timely intervention. More importantly, we have arrived. Now, feast your eyes upon the marvel before us. Ruins, a relic of the fallen civilization. A sight so common that man is oft blinded to its wonder. Colossal vessels, dashed from the very heavens. Airships, we call them, with very little thought to what wonders such a word might describe. Oblige me, if you would. Does anything strike you as peculiar about this particular specimen? Though we ourselves find fallen ruins to be nigh indestructible, whatever gouged the final sin from the rock cleaved clean through the structure you see before you. A tantalizing mystery, no doubt, but merely one of countless enigmas in which Zemeckis history is steeped. Come, good sir. Our expedition continues, and we still have much to learn.
He's passionate. I'll give him that. Good girl. Be safe.
Over here! Snowfall! Get him!
We don't want any trouble.
Neither do I. I'm looking for someone. A grey-haired mercenary.
Well, we haven't seen him.
Yes, we have. We saw him climbing up the rocks. Those ones, over there.
Maybe he found his thieves.
Mum won't let me near them. She said there's goblins up there, and that they eat little boys for dinner.
Shush now. You've said quite enough already.
I only told him what you said.
I'd listen to your mother if I were you. Did Joseph's thieves really lug their stolen wares all the way out here? I think we found our thieves. They don't look happy to see me. Go for it! Kill! All yours, Torgal! Go for it! Let's get this over with.
Stop! Don't kill him, he's just protecting his home.
Joseph? So the boy was right.
I don't know you.
Your porter friend sent me to find you. She was worried you might have got yourself killed.
Have I been gone that long? Wasn't hard finding the thieves. The problem was knowing what to do with them when I did.
I take it things are more complicated than they appear.
I'd all but ruled out bandits before I even left the market. You know why that is? Because our thieves had no interest in gold or gems or anything they couldn't eat for them. Add to that the rumors of goblins in the area and the mystery practically solved itself. I soon found their cozy little homestead and all the missing food. I launched myself at them full of righteous fury, but their leader was the only one who moved to meet me. The others, they huddled around that food, ready to die protecting it. They stole because it was that or starvation. I've been there myself.
So you spared them, and earned their trust into the bargain by the look of it.
These goblins aren't native to the area. They don't know how to survive such barren lands, so I've been teaching them. And once they've learned to hunt and forage, they won't be fool enough to risk their necks in Boklad.
I'm impressed. I didn't know goblins could be reasoned with.
Do me a favor. Let the porter know I'm safe. I'll head back to the market once my work here is done. Oh, and don't mention the goblins.
Your secret's safe with me.
I appreciate it.
Come on. Run like the wind. Not again.
right then. Who's first?
You're going to get yourself killed.
Oh, that would not do. That would not when such majesty stretches out before us. As Moss tells us, a battle was fought here in ancient times. A battle of such ferocity that it tore a great crater in the very land upon which it was waged. In reaching for their holy sanctum, did man enrage the gods. And great was the vengeance that was rained down upon him. Alas, the full truth of the matter is lost to time. But we must not dwell upon such things. Onward! History awaits!
Oh no. He's really got himself into trouble this time.
Get him!
Torgal, kill! All yours, Torgal! Still in one piece?
It would seem so. Once more I am in your debt. And once more you impress me with your prowess. These were no ordinary foes, but ones we in the field call echoes. Though Moss the Chronicler concurs with the legends in attributing the fall of Zemeckis to a wrath, he offers little in the way of explanation. Could the ruins we see before us here, in all their elaborate beauty, perhaps suggest an answer? Could the construction of such miraculous edifices have been considered an encroachment upon the province of the divine? Alas, all is mere speculation. But one day, perhaps, I will learn the truth.
Not if you keep running headfirst into trouble.
You are right, of course. And not only have you plucked me repeatedly from the jaws of death, You have proven yourself a willing audience to my ramblings.
Glad to help, but didn't you say you came here to investigate something?
I fear I may have rather overstated the case on that front. In truth, a captive ear was all I really desired. You see, even my fellow scholars have grown somewhat weary of my musings of late, and so I came upon the idea of purchasing a companion.
That's what this was all about.
I am afraid so.
Fine.
And so ends a delightful day. Here, your reward for humoring my selfish whims, plus...
Joseph's fine. He'll be back once he's tied up a few loose ends.
That's a weight off my shoulders.
He certainly knows his business. He found your thieves all right.
A good man to have around, that Joseph. Thank you for putting my mind at ease.
The Akashic attacked us out of the blue, and there's no telling when they might be back. You'd best keep that sword handy, Sid.
Martha. It's good to see you.
And you, Clive. Jill?
Otto said you'd been attacked by Akashic. What exactly happened here?
Those skies are what happened. Not long after they fell dark, we had our first visit. There were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the hill. Only a handful made it up here, but that was more than enough. The rest are still down there now. And while we have a few willing fighters holding them back, they're sorely outnumbered.
What do you think, Clive?
That we join the fight?
I thought you'd never offer. Now, where I need you is the Fallen Gate. Let the men know you come to help.
We're on our way.
Do you think there are as many as Martha says?
More.
You don't think they've abandoned us, do you?
Clive, wounded.
We deal with the Akashic first.
These men don't have the look of hired swords.
If you've come to rob this place,
You are mistaken, my Lord Rosfield. We're here by Madame Martha's leave.
how do you know my name?
Forgive me, my lord. There wasn't time for introductions. We're with the Guardians of the Flame.
Wade's men? But how did you come to be here? Where is your commander?
Sir Wade left earlier with a scouting party to find out where the Akashic were coming from.
Did he? Take your wounded back to the inn. Martha will see you're looked after.
And to think you took them for thieves. A fine reward for holding off the horde, that is.
When did Wade and his men arrive?
Not long after Rosalith fell. The Guardians asked me to shelter some of them that had lost their homes. They were making ready to leave just as the skies turned, and we agreed it was best we stuck together.
Martha! Trouble! The scouting party's almost at the lift, but they got a pack of Akashic snapping at their heels, and they got wounded with them!
Damn it all.
We'll worry about them, Martha.
You look after everyone here.
I will. You...
My brothers.
Mad dogs.
Squire, I need you to get those who can still walk up the lift to Martha's. But what about... I didn't ask, Oscar. Sir.
Sir Wade.
Lord Rossfield. If you aren't a sight for sore eyes.
Martha seemed to think you might need some help. And by the looks of it...
We thought we could sneak by them. But we didn't know there would be so many. How could we have?
Behind you!
Damn it! We need to get the injured to safety.
Do you think we can hold them off?
We can certainly try. Are you with us, Sir Wade?
Always.
Then let's do our duty. It's over!
Is anyone hurt?
I don't think so.
And yet again, you've pulled me from the flames. It's just...
You've never been one to shy away from danger, Sir Wade.
I see you're all in one piece.
Martha!
Is something wrong?
The lookout saw smoke coming from down Eastpool way. Too thick to be a hearth.
A second horde.
Feel like finishing the job.
Always.
Jill and I will make for Eastpool. You'll need to move the injured without us.
Don't you worry about them.
The moment my men are safe, I'll follow. Good luck.
Just patch me up as a
They're headed for the rest.
We have to slow them down. Martha and the others won't be ready.
Get him! Get him! This one! Go for him! Get him! Sick him! Over here!
Something's coming.
Apologies, my lord. Did I miss anything?
Only the first round, Sir Wade. Shall we? Do you see any more?
No. I think that...
But it won't be long before the next lot arrive.
Then we make for Martha's while we can.
What did you find out there?
The same as Sir Wade.
Well, wherever they came from, they're gone now. Hopefully we'll have enough time to lick our wounds.
How many of your men were injured?
A damn sight less than if you hadn't turned up. Thank you.
It was a hard-fought victory. But as long as the skies remain dark, I fear the Akashic's numbers are only going to rise. It's not a matter of if the Horde will be back, but when. The inn here affords a good view of the land, and is easily defendable. I'd like to make this one of our outposts.
What do you say, Martha? You'd have more men to guard the rest.
Well, when you put it like that...
My lord, there's someone I'd like you to meet. Oscar, over here. It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Lord Rosfield. I am Oscar. Oscar of House Murdoch.
Murdoch? I wasn't aware the Lord Commander had children.
Oh, he didn't. But his brother, my father, did. I am Sir Rodney's nephew. Well, go on, then. It's not for me to ask him. Yes, Sir Wade. If it please you, my Lord Marquis, might you take me as your squire? I would learn the duties of a shield from the finest.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Oscar, but I'm a shield no longer. Nor was I ever the finest. And spending time in the company of an outlaw hardly seems a fitting education for one aspiring to take his oaths.
My Aunt Hannah once told me that a man is not defined by his title, but what he does in its name. You have accomplished much since taking on the mantle of Cid, winning no little honor in so doing. And I would sooner serve under an honorable outlaw than an unworthy shield. Not that Sir Wade and the other Guardians are... I mean to say that, they're... It's all right. We know what you mean. There is only so much the boy can learn from me, my lord.
But a squire...
Would that really be so bad? You were a squire once. And I'm certain Sir Rodney would approve.
Know that I'll show you as much leniency as your uncle showed me.
I would not have it any other way. I will not let you down, Lord Rosfield. You, or my uncle. We shall be staying here for the time being, and not just for the ale. I'll have one of my men escort Oscar to Benimir once he's said his farewells.
Fetch! Poor bastard. Couldn't run 'cause of the weight of his load. Still, better a branded than one of us. Poor bastard. Couldn't run 'cause of the weight of his load. Still.
Cid! Your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle. Should I be worried?
You haven't been introduced.
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalamil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although, you're a little late. They left with our food and guild days ago.
Any idea where they went?
The desert's a big place, but the fact is, I have more immediate concerns.
What did you say to me? What did you say?
Ah, as if by magic. Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalamil's little problem. And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Cid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail.
Suppose we just follow the shouting.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandits' ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself. Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
Victor. What's he doing here?
Cid. And Lady Jill. What brings you here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalamil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And these accursed sky, or an entire city for that.
We're still working on the skies. Perhaps we can find a solution.
I hope so.
So, you see my predicament?
What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid, but if left to smolder, that anger...
My thoughts exactly. Both sides wish to protect their homes and...
And if there's one thing bandits like, it's an easy target.
What would Cid the Outlaw suggest?
Well, if it were my namesake, he'd let them choose for themselves, and be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the other's proposal, it may still be possible to make them doubt their own before presenting them with a third option.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save the city ourselves.
When all that fear and anger can be directed at the bandit.
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit.
As you wish.
Your faces are not well known in this town. That may prove useful. Don't worry, Victor and I...
Play along.
What he means to say is yes.
Picture it, Conrad. Here she is. The Lady of the Spear herself, Conrad. May I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canver to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 2 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalimil's finest cannot defend this town better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you call the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
Then let us band together and show these brutes that Dalimil is not...
My shop.
If I had my pickaxe, I would...
I mean, it may still be possible to buy something. Ah, here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill?
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state of the capital's stores.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the Blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope of supplementing our stores, meager though they regrettably are. And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return, which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what little we still have. Food, weapons, herbs, everything. If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Thank you, Clyde.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good. Merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
It appears I have no choice
don't know.
but to do what little...
Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Mummy, I'm scared.
Oh, I'm ruined.
Good news, Sid. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat with time. They may even learn to...
Time no longer...
I take it your scouts found the bandits.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scouts. It appears they march for Dalimil as we speak. All of them.
You're not serious.
They don't just want food, they want the whole damn town.
I have a favor to ask. I'm told the bandits march in 2 groups. One from the south and one from the desert. In a move, doubtless, intended to stretch our already gossamer thin defense.
Very well. Jill and I will meet those from the desert. But what of the rest?
The rest, my friend, the city shall fight. To get mistakes, I concede, are high.
That is a lot of faith to put into those who had their hands around each other's throats but a moment ago.
Then it will be for us to see that their hands are kept occupied.
I thought you might say that.
We'll hold them off for as long as we can.
And we will do the same.
No women folk have come to welcome.
I'll take that one.
He's all yours.
To overwhelm us.
You're finished. Get him.
This one. Sick 'em. This one.
All yours, Torgal.
The townspeople. Could they have held out?
I don't hear any fighting.
Then we should hurry.
Natalie, I owe you an apology. You did well out there. The inn would have been lost had you not held the line.
Without you, there would have been no line to hold. You saved us, Conrad. You saved Dalimil.
We all saved Dalimil.
Conrad seems to have had a change of heart.
I'd say they both have.
I take it from your presence that our visitors from the desert won't be joining us either.
The plan worked, Sid. Granted, it only took an army of bloodthirsty bandits at our gate.
Calm now, Victor. Why quibble over the details? We are united. As for you, Sid, you fight considerably better than you act. I'll take that as a compliment. First, we find Isabel.
Heard a bloke saying he saw ghosts on the far side of the wall.
Ghosts? Then a wall won't stop them. I saw it with my own eyes. The whole of Oregon.
I can't do it.
My lord. Milady.
We received the dame's message. There have been sightings of strange creatures and...
With the blue eyes. Yes. They've taken so many. Akashic, but...
And what of your mistress?
Oh, no. She went to the...
Then we'll look for her there.
More arrived from the capital this morning.
The two soldiers were carrying another.
Madame, please!
Half the garrison's been slaughtered by those things. We lost the captain this very morning.
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word from the capital or the Dominion in days! What more would you have us do?
I would have you do your duty, and protect them I shall. In case you have forgotten, the people of this town are your charges. But more than that, they are your people, your sisters, your brothers, your lovers. So you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch as they are slaughtered, or take it up and do what is right.
She speaks the truth, you know. This here, it's all we have. It's all that's left.
What we have left is our lives! Do you really want us to lose them as well?
Not if we don't have to. Look, there's a cask under the captain's bunk. Have a drink, eh? I'll have a word with him.
Ah, Clive. I didn't expect help to arrive so quickly. And sought to take matters into my own hands.
It was a noble effort, but I thought you might still need some support.
I'd like you to consider my need. What we need to consider is where the creatures came from. The way the survivors speak of them, one would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they did. It's hard to know what to believe these days.
We'll talk to the survivors. You're a pikeman, yes?
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was spreading, so I went to see if they were all right. And a pack of them glowing things found me in the meadow.
Leave that to us.
My family.
Don't leave me, Paul.
That thing?
Did you see the creatures that attacked you?
Creatures? They came out of nowhere. They went for Joseph first, then...
Do you remember where you were?
On the road from Oriflamme.
It's all right. At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for more.
I assume you have a plan?
We
needed to find out.
It was all they could do to escape. They just left the bodies there in the flood.
Good girl.
Clive, look!
I see them. With me!
Should I prime?
Save your strength. Stay! Over here! Get him! Let's try. Fire and blaze! This one. Get him.
Do you think there are more?
There are always more. But I'd say we've done what we can for the time being.
Then we should let Isabel know.
You have the town's thanks.
Don't thank us yet. There will be more.
Oh, we shall. Isn't that right, Captain?
Yes, milady. The garrison will be ready.
Philippe here has convinced most of the men to remain at their posts.
Hearing that the Dane would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the task certainly didn't hurt. It's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit. But whatever it takes, eh? Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier to protect the people I love. And the people I love include the ones standing before me.
Handsome and chivalrous.
Now, if you don't mind, I have sentries to post. Milady.
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. But it has solved one. And that's one fewer than I had this morning. Thank you again, Clive.
Our friends seem to have things under control. For now, at least. Let's...
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Was wondering when you turn up. Had owls from all our friends thanking you for your timely intervention. How is it you always manage to arrive at just the right moment?
Luck, I suppose. Any word on the rest of the realm?
Let's see. Storm's still crying out for Mother Crystals. The nations are still in chaos.
Right.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the Bleeding Skies part, but you take my point. Now's not the time to second-guess yourself. Now's the time to visit the infirmary. Talia says your brother's awake.
Thank you, Otto.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed. But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
Very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, 'twas not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care, I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. He will stop at nothing to have you, even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
That is one of many answers that have eluded me. Yet, I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an icon. Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements. But you, Clive.
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. but they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind?
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. This is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
I'm sorry. Inside you?
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find a means to bring an end to him before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Joshua! Clive! It's Gav! There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Well, what's the short of it?
It's all Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The city guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, Bed is where you should be bound.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Tyre not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
I'll look after him.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be thunder?
Cid, perhaps you can help me solve a mystery.
I can certainly try.
It's not who, but what. Mid-scales. The ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, well, my first thought was that they'd taken them off, which almost certainly means they had...
Perhaps a visit from Cid will jog their memories.
I don't like to imagine that they were in the atrium when I last...